This is a pair of Nick's boots.
Obviously very worn in, very beat up, and we're gonna get those a complete overhaul and get a little creative with it.
So let's jump right in.
All right, so we have to replace most of this. Some of this we can actually reuse. We got the hookup. This was actually sent to us from Nick's, and they just kind of some odds and ends, some counters, some new vamps, some lining, pair of lasts, some pulls. And they said, hey, let's see what you can do with this stuff. So we're gonna have to put our brains and get creative and see what we can pull out of all this. Let's get started.
All right, guys, we just got the Vibram sole off, and as you could tell, it was an absolute beast. These things are constructed really well. Now I'm going to get to work on the midsole, and it is nailed in, stitched in, so it's going to take a little work too, but let's get back at it. Kind of see. There are so many nails in this pair of Nick's boots. I've been working on this midsole, I don't know, 30 minutes just trying to get it off. As you can see, they do a good job of really getting it in there and holding it on. And it's just a sign of a good boot, but yeah, it's a little difficult and time consuming when resoling it.
I forgot, these are the old school kind. These are hand welted.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep, yeah, it's gonna opens up more opportunities for us. All right, so one thing I do want to point out, for those who are familiar with Nick's boots, they're a stitched down construction. They haven't always been that way, and this is an older pair. This actually has a channel. They're hand welted. It is still stitched down, but there's a hand welt on top of the upper that stitches out. So I was actually thinking about doing something similar, and when I saw that this is the way it was, it's gonna make my life a lot easier. And that is the only thing that we're keeping in the boot.
So we kept the original shaft of the boot. I really like the look of it. It's beat up, it's worn, but then we replaced the leather around the back, around the sides, on the toe area. And now in order to make it more pliable so that we can get around the last and reshape it, I'm gonna put it in this bowl of water here, and we're gonna let it sit for a while, and then we'll take it out and we'll keep going.
All right, so I was hoping that we could reuse the insole. Unfortunately, when I put that up to the last that Nick sent us, it was a different size and it was a different toe shape. So a little more boxy, a little bit more kind of an almond shape. So this is the new one. We've already carved a channel, awed it out. I haven't done the other one, so you'll catch me doing it for the other shoe. So let's get started on lasting this thing. All right, so we've obviously been working on this a couple of days since the wardrobe change. We're gonna put a welt on. Now the way that these are actually gonna be made, it's gonna have a half welt, just around from pretty much the joint to just behind the joint. And we're gonna use a storm welt, but we're gonna do it a little bit different. Now this storm welt actually has a groove to where the stitches can lay it in, just like a typical Goodyear welt. But we're gonna pretty much like Norwegian welt these things. And so we're gonna cut this pre-made portion off and just use this top portion. So bear with me and you'll see what I'm doing as we go. It's that stickiness. All right, so we're going to use a leather filler on this this boot here. As you can see, there's no cavity because there's no deep rib or gimming that goes around. It's pretty much just flat. It's kind of like a traditional made cowboy boot. In this case, a lot of traditional boots are made this way where it's carved into the channel or carved into the insole and it's pretty much flat. So just a little bit, give a smooth transition. We put a thin piece of leather in there. And this is rubber cement. I don't want to use contact cement. I mean, some people do. I prefer not to because I don't want it getting down in there and next time the stitches are hard to come out. So right, so we are building up this heel block. Before we stick this last one, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Algorithm likes it, pushes the video out to other people. All right, for those who are wondering, we do have a brand on this sole. I just thought it looked kind of cool, and the other pair has a mirror image of the same brand. There's not actually going to be a lot of it showing when we're done, but it just kind of adds to that ruggedness. Looks pretty cool. All right, this is your quiz moment. How many different shirts have I worn in this video? We have been working on this boot for about 3 weeks on and off, so how many shirts?
Okay, this was a fun project, and it was definitely different and more entailed in this one.
Long.
Yeah, very long. Before we get to it, a couple of quick things as always, guys. Go check out Southern Polish. That is our men's and ladies flip-flop sandal brand, and it's summertime. School's about to be out. I know you got, a lot of you going to the beach and whatnot, so yeah, just go over to southernpolish.com.
Father's Day is not too far off.
Yeah, and Father's Day is not too far off. So check them out. Again, made right here, and a lot of it right here in this shop, USA. Also, go check out Nick's. Again, this was Nick's Boots. We love teaming up with those guys. They're making good quality stuff. So go check out Nick's Boots over there as well. Okay, what was the answer on the shirts?
3.
3. Yeah, Heath and I both had three shirts. So, anyways, yeah, this was a long one. Tell them about the boots.
All right, now this was a Nick's boot that we had some vamps and counters and all that cut out. It took a lot of stitching. We didn't show a ton of this because it's just a long and tedious process, and we don't do a lot of upper work. We normally don't, but putting that back in the way it was. Now, remember this boot was a little bit different than Nick's, that it wasn't just a stitch down, it was actually welted. Apparently they used to be welted.
Because they said this was an old boot.
Yeah, it was an old boot, one of their old ones, and it was hand welted. So we did the same thing. We welted and carved it into the insole. Went old school on that one, and
used different lash shape, so it has a little bit more of an almond toe to it.
Yep.
Rather than, as you can see, maybe
a little dressier.
A little dressier look to it. I really liked, and let me know too, guys, what do you think about the shaft? That's the only part of that boot that we kept original from the original pair, and I just think that contrast between the new leather, the Chrome XL leather, and that original shaft.
It's like crackled.
Oh man,
it looks good.
I think it looks great.
And like that brand that was on there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with what we put on it, you couldn't see a whole lot of it. I wish we could just see all of it, but we have to have some tread on there, so we put those Vibram mini lug half soles
and top lifts.
On top of that. Yeah, with the top lifts. Went all natural on the sides and finished it off with a acrylic Resolene around the outside. Just to really wanted to keep that that finish, that natural veg tan finish on it. Didn't want to darken it at all and keep it sealed. So man, these things they're pretty sharp.
It's pretty cool.
I like them.
Yeah. So let us know what you think, guys. If you like this boot and you think it turned out well, I mean, I'd like to hear your feedback. Shoot, if they start making these boots, I might get a pair.
I'm gonna wear this pair.
Yeah, that'll fit you. So, all right, guys, we really appreciate you watching, and until next time, y'all have a good one.